I want you to take a look at this.
What's your name?
Roy.
Hey, Roy, how are you?
Good, Matthew, thanks. My ex moved on fast, and I was trying to... It hurts, man. You know, it's like we were together for like 5-6 years.
It's incredibly painful. Part of the pain is you continuing to convince yourself that this must on some level have been the right person and that your right person is now with someone else. Now, I don't believe that. I believe that the right person can only be the right person when it's two people choosing each other. So part of the pain we hold on to is believing still that we had this jewel that's gone. And as much as we may have loved someone, as much as we may have thought someone was incredible, they may have had wonderful qualities, we may have been incredibly attracted to them, there may have been all these great things, they cannot represent that true dream relationship if they don't choose you. In fact, someone not choosing you is just about the biggest departure from your dream relationship you could ever imagine. So when we're saying, but we were so close, not being chosen by someone should be the greatest turnoff in the world. Not because there's something wrong with that person, but because how on earth, when I was a kid and I dreamt about my dream relationship, or in my last 10 years or 20 years before I met someone, when I was dreaming of my dream relationship, it couldn't have been the one where someone decides to go be with someone else. That wasn't it. So this isn't it.
My purpose of this channel is to uncover lapses of reasoning and critical thinking that have us making decisions that make us trip over our own feet. To me, one of the biggest lapses of reasoning and logic is for you to think that it's somebody's job to try to win you back after you decide to leave. I agree 1000% with this video. I've listened to people giving dating advice, and many of them said, men and women alike, hey man, it's your job to make sure your woman knows that there's nobody else like you. It's your job to make sure she doesn't find interest in somebody else by showing her that you are the best that she's ever going to have. It's your job to pimp your woman. It's your job to keep everything in check to make sure she doesn't have a desire to leave. It's your job to make sure she doesn't cheat on you. I've heard women say the same thing about men. I think this is quite possibly the dumbest advice that anybody could give you if you are looking for an actual relationship. The ideal that it's your job to make yourself seem irreplaceable so nobody thinks about replacing you is not a real relationship, and I will explain why. If you tell me that it is my job to gain somebody's attention, to create a desire inside of them to want me, to create a desire in them to keep them from leaving, or to create a desire in them to try to win them back, to show them that I'm the better choice, to show them that they're the prize, and try to pull them back into my direction. And you tell me that that's my job. If it is my job to create a desire in somebody that is not already there, what you are essentially telling me is that I could be with anybody. The person who I'm with does not matter. I could literally be with anyone. Why does this tell me that? Because if it is my job to create in somebody something that's not already there, a virtue or a quality to stay put, a desire for me that makes them not leave or to win them back, whatever the case may be, if it is my job to create something that is not there, then the other person's personality does not matter. It doesn't matter what character traits this person either has or lacks, since it's my responsibility to put in whatever's not there anyway. So what you're telling me is that the person who I'm with doesn't matter. It could literally be anybody. All I need is a body to fill a position, and I'll take it from there. And you don't even believe that. One of the very people who said this to me, this philosophy, said, oh man, I don't like to date hood girls. I don't like ghetto women. Why not? It's your job to turn them into business women, right? Under this philosophy, you're not supposed to have any preferences since it's your job to create the other person. As you can see, it doesn't make any sense. Under this philosophy, relationships are a commodity. They're not a connection. Is this what it's supposed to be? Are we picking up relationships like we're going to Walmart, picking a box of cereal off the shelf, checking out, and then walking around with it on our arm like a trophy? Is that the best we can hope for relationships at this point? Let me know. But if trying to fall in love with who somebody actually is as a person, if trying to like who somebody is, if trying to be attracted to their personality is my driving force for being in a relationship, then somebody being willing to walk away from me jumps out at me like a sore thumb. Because if I care about who they are as a person, if I'm trying to be attracted to their personality, if that's what I want between us to form a relationship, then I would never override our lack of chemistry by trying to game them or persuade them into staying with me or coming back to me if they felt turned off enough about me to be able to leave in the first place. Because if I'm trying to form an actual connection with them, I care about our lack of chemistry. Are you telling me that I should ignore the fact that we don't naturally get along and persuade them to stay just so I can have a body in my life filling up a space? This is relationships as a commodity instead of a connection. Is that what we're doing? I've also heard some people say, well, I was the one for you. I was meant for you, but you didn't do right, so you lost me. Number one, that is extremely arrogant. For you to think that somebody's future is over because they no longer have you, man, that's some extreme self-importance. But other than that, it also doesn't make any sense. You're telling me that you are the one for me. You were the one I was supposed to be with. But because I didn't do right, you left me. Well, then I have a question to ask you. Is the person who you're with right now the one for you? Are they somebody you're supposed to be with? Or are you knowingly, consciously with somebody who you have a feeling they're not for you? Are you in a relationship with somebody who is not the one? Or are you in a committed relationship with the person you're with now, knowing that they're not the one for you? Or are they the one? Most of the time, people give the response, no, they are the one for me. They showed me what a real relationship was. They did a whole lot better than you. Okay, well, if they're the person you're supposed to be with, then we were never supposed to work out anyway. Because let's say that I did right by you. Let's say that I was a person you wanted to be, I handled my responsibilities, and our relationship did work out. Are you telling me that I would be with his rightful woman? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? The reality is, if we split, if you walk away, if I walk away, if anybody departs the relationship, that is a sign that it wasn't the right one. It's not a sign to go try to get it back. A relationship, like what this guy says, it is two people wanting each other. It's not one person trying to create a desire in another person. That's the end of the relationship. Let me know what you think. I'm out.